yema obibiara akwaba nemfamre Abusua kase Akan Kasebo and area bri in summer years was mono doso pa nemum zodumu akoten ebi en dem Ghana man pehin awe yin oyo o man pehin mahama akasa afanyene enam kane ho ensan samdo Yera afanyon maken so akasa chemde abani biara nyi wobotum abomani ma obobu omani ye ewo mani mum Damara so NNPP amayokono den samchofu nshema shado nsam a wode gutwada to no mezebi eba bosom won sam fofrom enso no yewra oye bagbin enso akasa nsam bi okan won behebdwum no mezebi eba bosom ena yewra naponso eza tugwa achemde se yewra okujato abla ko hunde nyam wo ye ne hu de na no zi want to on my Ghana and Brescia Ebedjumufino want to crow and 7 BK who and a yabon bedew amazabos modem. Abusua Kase Akan Kasebo or big family radio Kasa a free door. Okay, Kenya what a menka and they are breezing a major do aranyin. Ejata Kobana, they are not from Ejata Koko. School time was porcupine. Afeje brena manfa nsamno nenchemu emo. Oman paying away in the ondi on my Ghana enyim infisia anan oye yevra Yohani Dramani Mahama. Ono and a Ghana for upon there ono and preparing for the Marbury copy my film maybe in the our trimono ondi on my Ghana enyim. Na one oye Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council for onishe and other to nim no chemde. Eshe ECG amayoku and ECG abain another ECG kuna oya ada wono kwan wonam do no ontwa ye kura sesi anu ebe ne commercial no afi technical losses ahodo a we kodo so wa aburba ye ohanchemu eduasa ebien 32% all sesi anu enyim kanye eku biara enyiwa wo botum we gina wonando wo oye commercial technical mu no ebe ne ohanchemu eduasa bi na wo botum we gina wonando da enti enya da botum aye adwuma enti ono no ehwa mes for no na also in your day painful no wotum aboa amadamazin akonkan.
Really is the economy. The economy, even though the president sounded very upbeat about the third quarter growth, from the little briefing I have, the economy is still very sick, and there are many areas that we need to work on as quickly as possible, especially the energy sector. The energy sector can derail everything that we've done with regards to the debt exchange and with regards to the IMF program, because the debts continue to pile up there. ECG's governance is in a very bad way, and so they are making commercial and technical losses of more than 32%. There's no utility company that can survive with 32% commercial and technical losses and still continue to be a viable utility. And so as quickly as possible we need to do reforms, in the whole electricity value chain in order that we have better efficiency and performance if we are to have sustainable power.
Yemfa yenwan trends na mufu yokopo emu wa my Ghana mbreshe bodwumifia odom kesimba danu ni yewra Alexander apanyo marking ono so eye mbreshe bodwuminize madeshe wo efutu abatumpeshe do wonfifinu mantomu ono enwa kasa wo mbreshe bodwumifia no ruchemu dem se yehwe oman Ghana yewomi a abani biara enyiwa ode pepe yobobu oman no ebekede obabe perfect oba yo tinini ewo amembu biara mu oyaza de wode aban bia benubu oman na bibi kakra no gbato kakra enti yada ohopa enti okasai no chemude enti no oba na meda wumundo yada owo na ben biare nyi obotum webu oman no misma order otin.
Mr. Speaker, these are on a lighter note. But Mr. Speaker, clearly this is a time for us to reflect, particularly those of us getting into opposition. Indeed, no party can run a perfect government in this country. When you get into government, whilst you are happy to implement your policies, you are likely to make some mistakes. We concede that some mistakes were made. We concede that we couldn't have done everything perfect. The people have spoken, we've accepted it. But Mr. Speaker, The coming days and years will reveal the true colors of this umbrella, and the elephant will be watching keenly in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, this House looks forward to a leadership that will keep us going and keep the lights.
Well, in San Fumo, NPP, Amayokuno, why and some truffle shimu, no workers and watch them. Ya were impetia dubeye a do a bina, a one was in Kunim, a one sooner I am and one sin on Intawanta will be one manomodo. Now the men be a do a bina working, Oya Ablikuma North, Okankwe Central, Tema Central, Domekwa Binya. I have for Ano North, Obuasi East, I have for Ano Southwest, Akwetia, Suhum, Fantiakwa North, and Sawoma Drejil, and Afe, Oye, Techiman South. Away the men be a duebiani, Ano and NPP Amayoku fire and some trophy shimu academ. The men be within Kunyamo home, now such a Washington and one Salmon on the power home. Now Abra Peter Macmenu, on some travel casanom, and Ocham them. Oya coalition on the declarations are what do about to come saying, oh yeah, na, Nina no own them, on Yado Okoye, ain't no them in some trophy shimu as a shadow.
Very obvious that the NDC leadership and their supporters who stormed the coalition centers to compel the EC under the threat of death to declare their candidates as winners have labored in vain, because we are a country of rule of law, not rule of men. EC's response: it is not surprising that at a press conference held on Friday, 13 December, the Electoral Commission, through its deputy chair, Mr. Samuel Tete, stated emphatically that there was no declaration of the Ablekuma North, Domekwa Benya, Tema Central, Okankwe North, Ahafuano North, Ahafuano Southwest, Obuasi East, Techiman South, and Nsawam Adwajiri constituency parliamentary results, because the coalition was incomplete. Indeed, the Commission has maintained that all purported declaration of parliamentary results made under duress, as was seen in those constituencies, are not in conformity with laid down processes enshrined in CI 127, hence illegal and will not be upheld. It will not be upheld by the EC. Conclusion: it is therefore our expectation that the EC would immediately resume the coalition exercise. We implore the National Election Security Task Force to provide adequate security to facilitate peaceful collation under a serene environment. We are also calling on the NDC leadership to rein in on their supporters. We are very certain that our parliamentary candidates in the above-mentioned constituencies won the elections based on verifiable data from the pink sheets, as we have demonstrated.
Ebusia na onechino ena yewura Justin Kodua ono so kase wodwumedina sa ochechen semu chensam chofo
oba bebe ti se dome kwabenya also NDC for no to trasem ne basabase ko ho no omantima amboa ma coalition na ese koso odome kwabenya eno so ankoso ewo ho oba bebe ti se afa no north constituency a o kan ye pinchita ne wo nyina aboma ye candidate eye Nanajiman Eric Nanajima Prempe enya 20,353 as against NDC candidate we now 20,232. To shema vote difference no 121 vote difference. Oba bebe to say Obuasi East MPP near dim kunim ho. Vote MPP candidate now ye 18,558 as against NDC candidate we now 18,539. And no electoral commission will be via no quality results na we. Now so NDC for macho man for to try some ho e share electoral commission your candidate say results MPP enya no ye fa MPP dey man this ne fa NDC dey MPP ah o this can to issue so say obewu na so be call parliament dey na ope and o mtintin your candidate nsa oye no free afa no southwest ɛno so your candidate wɔ hɔ wohwɛ votes a wonyaayɛ na 16,058 ana NDC candidate na 16,000 your candidate na 16,058 ana NDC candidate na 15,372 and wohwɛ vote margin the BTNDC na 686 votes ɛno so NDC for 2 transams ano ɔma electoral commission entimi an collect results na nwie over Techiman South so honorable Martin Kokweje Mensa Kosa no odin kunim or sa constituency wo votes are near quality unya 46,468 as against NDC candidate unya 43,365 votes and so said the NDC 4 year to try some or K3SE Central Afano Southwest and Afano South Afano North no sa no de call her Techiman South yintimi kan wi in sawa adroje so the same issue and the course so e wo ho and no crowd there said the area afenyo marking majority leader kan no you could share what tesa no na ka yes electoral commission eto so metimi kan wi NDC the patapasem to trasem sa massa exercise no am yankwanko wi na wa ba our win constituency also so electoral commission start to kenka results no ya sha otimi say figures bi wo ha wo polling station bi wo ha o ma than figures no enti eno so ya call on electoral commission say o honor results no so e say mo mani call as a party so Abusua ye hwehwem na ofa constituency bi to say suhum Fantia Panof eni apatia enam say na bambo eni sa constituency ho no a o sa de call region bambo ho no ya de call tesa no police training school ho no asundwe wo ho nti etimi quality ni nyina ye wie no ampa se de MPP ye kan ye di nkunim e osuhum akwatia na Fantia Panof ye say baby a ba bedru no ye say electoral commission say aka standing constituency sa yen kan wie ya ese wo hwe eme ka ye say ye IGP ye dampare o hye ye bo say abato ebeto na ma asundwe abam na no ma ekoso no ne sa na yehu no say NDC timi de tumi show mo nsem na police gina ho police ntimi nya hwe na omo ye tutu asem ho ti ye say ne say bambo bi eso de ma electoral commission say be ya electoral commission ebetima ye omo adwuma wie no sa bambo ne fa ma electoral commission no nya say adwuma obeti say NDC for kan on from say MPP yes ye win en court ye nya do be yes ye court e say electoral commission on quality results in we en gazette ye enu ntibeka so be gina say court ye nya nwe collation ni de e say ye collation ni wi na ogidie say electoral commission ye collation ni wi a MPP e be din kunim all sa constituencies.
Abusua yantu ansam no do na oye chame no man Ghana mbrehye bedwomfie Yewra Alban Bagbin Somana Kingsford ono eno da to go to them amanfu e wo mbehye bedwomfie wo bonosombo dem otu asha ifie wo sha dada nyame yadom November bosom na doctor de esuan no won metena ase na oduru na wontu amba no o se nyempa bi mo kada mensami na wonyem mbram na go back to school kono katan class no kusia de na sambre biem ono mameke no ebetima ase pa na edom kasen bada no nyi Yewra Afenyo marking ono ye mbehye bedwominizim adehye wo efutu abatum peshato won fifu no mantem no kasa na ochem dem the mage na Yewra Yewra oye Alban Bagbin Somana Kingsford OC another OC no esha ema oye kamaminke bi hu amembu enti onamdo ema Yewra Alban Bagbin Somana Kingsford no so abakasa.
Honorable members, I think we should just proceed. The person who raised the issue said his reference was to a different order votes and proceedings dated Thursday, 7th November 2024, not the one we're considering dated Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. And so that ends it. And for the others, those who believe that I erred in my ruling may need to be taken to school. I'm not sure they read the ruling very well. And that ruling actually worked in their favor. Honorable Majority Leader, it actually worked in your favor. and for you to come here and try to impede on that ruling. Please, I really was surprised that you raised the issue that you put across. It's not correct. Please.
Elsia ya tuado na Dr. Mike Opoku Prempe ono ye mbrehye badwamenyize madehye wo Menhia South abatum peshodo wa Santimantomu ono sokopo mu omanga na mbrehye badwamfie ena okasa no richem dem se enipa binmu ne de edwuma wore no mbrehye badwamfie no onso enwa na oreka na oto dem na mbrehye badwamni owo no ton abatum peshodo yewura Samuel Kujato ablakwa ono oto dem no ne de se ohun de edwuma wudin wo omanga na mbrehye badwamfie no ehun yin fosoda ena ono denta wote want to mbese bedwem no won kofie na won ka tanze shop no won tonton won ade enti ensama yewura oye napo okan ebini.
So calling that order to enforce is wrong. He himself in speaking he said that there was no decision on the other paper to be made. So maybe we should take advantage that the item on the table now, on the floor now, is correction of votes and proceedings. So Mr. Speaker, if something has been stated wrongly, this is the time to correct it so that we can move on. Just to get up and say that Ghanaians have totally rejected MPP and all his bills and all his encumbrances is a very, very unfair statement, Mr. Speaker. It's a very, very unfair statement in the sense that there are other things that has been programmed that I think that we shouldn't even bother to do. Why should we at this time take up any bill, whether it is environmental bill or social bill? I think the new government then should come and start because we are resetting. And I agree, Ghanaians voted for resetting. So Mr. Speaker, let's probably, the only thing we have to do is to take the vote on account and close shop. We should not continue with any business here because like Honorable Okujeto said, and rightly so, Ghanaians have voted for the resetting agenda of Nkoko Nkiti. So, not only that, Mr. Speaker, apart from the vote and proceedings and maybe his end of service benefits that he's very much interested in, every other thing, social protection bill, second reading of bills, third reading, so that we have enough time to do Article 71 business and do vote on account, such that, yes, if it is not worth doing, it's not worth doing. Please. So we have agreed on resetting. Let's close shop on everything. Do those that are interested in that will further his own personal interest.
Abusua na yewura oye osofopon ano our American minimum Archbishop Kofi Adontin Boaton or a penipa that Divine Powerhouse and also a general besia Edma Divine Word Ministry International Ministries on Wakasi also Jinaya Yera Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia Osi Wabe about to Abenemuno yet to Abevi Nimuno Zakono or Yada Way Niepa also Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia Tiwano Hune there no Abede Uncle Infirmament Mamonko Cat and Chairman Sonia de Major BBM Madame about Mahama and Paniampa us the midday sino one way with the Ghana come in Kebia member no reach man. I feel so also check with them. Ghana no be another day another day. And young Cotin ever come in Kebia member yet to me ye pa. Ain't you on Emma Archbishop Kofi Adontin Boaton or Chem no Chem the Dr. Elijah Mudaba miam nigga we see the or the Ghana aid the camper wama Ghana aid name a kind why be why akonapa.
Recently, when they had the elections, the whole world was watching Ghana. Africa with democracy comes with violence because there is always fraud. Somebody has printed so many ballot papers seeking to steal. So it is never the will of the people that rules them. Usually it is who has money and who has the ability to be a fraud. Then you can rule the country. But I'm saying this because in view of these recent elections, I commend, I celebrate highly the courage, the leadership of the Vice President Bawumia that before the Electoral Commission will even pronounce who won, just for the sake of the country first and not the party first, Bawumia, the vice president, His Excellency, stood up. That is the first time this has happened. This is the first time this has happened. That the political party that is ruling and he has lost will come up and tell the whole country that I'm a loser. The country must forever celebrate Vice President Bawumia and his wife for their love for Ghana and for putting Ghana first before the political party. Amen.
Well, and some from Monsono, Ejuma, Fobaye, Ahesia, Woli Ejuma, Ewa Fankon and Sawum Quantum Ponidia, Warrior overhead and Zama Hood Baby. One way for Papa, one way for Ebufuni 9 a day, was one a couple Sumbaye Bassa. Busume Bassanya, Ben Wincho on a cop. One way for Pam was Saday, in paying forward down on a washer to on a corner, one share no phoniska and farmer one.
Many problems here. The challenges are many. But right now, at this moment, what we are targeting is our 3 months pay that is supposed to give it to us. They haven't paid us November up to now. December is also added, and our leave pay.
If you look at the work that we are doing, the work is hard. We are the people who enter water, we do every work before the work is done. The Chinese people do not do any work. We are the people we are the people, they are artisans in the field who do the work. Day and night, we are working. But we couldn't get any redundancies or any safety allowance, nothing. Our payment, if I'm making my pay for you, the daily mark that the mark we over here, we artisans, is too bad.
Due to that, most of us couldn't go and vote. So we were there 2 weeks. Still, we are hungry. We are in the company house. We just wake up, nothing to do. And even sites have been closed. We don't see any material anywhere. They don't also call us for work.
Yanfa yenwantre and sanfo from na ya konsanfo from so dia Public Utilities Regulatory Commission PURC and one what the kwanche akwa Ghana Water Company Limited dem one shena addition wo Kumasi oye Asante Mantom no ensu nsem akwa atwe no wo mbubo nsu enfama wan ni nine de ekopo mu e wa Asante Mantom Ghana Water Company Limited forward botu gwa chemu dem wone abia wo yedwuma no obi wadama obi manimpa ne bodru den negu enti enho abufu no ena won so wo hye ya what to pipe ahudro mu wa na che de ekwa Asante Mantom bro no bi et the bantama atonsu santase na rage woni ina no na wunya nsukra wa no de bi awrade mpo na wakra de bi twu nchensin mu enti anamdo MSS empanyfo akwa asetena emo atu bi da amna Ghana Water Company Limited for them won share na wumbe pipe no efama adishawe anamdo Ghana Water Company Limited for won so wakasa.
We have to return to supply, which is immediately, some of our stations have started already. But then we want to give a caution, like we said earlier on, that if what happened the last time is not restored, we will not hesitate. We will not.
One question.
Abusua na onechi no atimemfo wo no so ebi enensam twafo kasai.
They shouldn't forget that water is a fundamental right to citizens. So if for the slightest thing that has got absolutely nothing to do with maybe technical challenges or whatever, and they can take this decision, it is telling us, and it should tell any Ghanaian or every Ghanaian, that sometimes the problem that we face with our water outage is the
Enti onenyin aha ena embreno ba makwan ema yede Kasebo no esi. Abusua asada